Can Shrewsbury Town return to the top three in League Two? We shall see. They need to win here tonight to do just that. They're coming forward straight away with Morgan, who shows a bit too much of that to Jake Wright, the Oxford captain. And now Oxford lifted forward with Chapman down the right-hand side. Interesting character, Chapman. Had a very varied couple of years. First time he started for some time. And he sends it forward longer on this occasion, and it goes all the way through to the Shrewsbury goalkeeper, Chris Neal, in his green top and black shorts. Had a couple of very good games, Neil, including one at Crewe on Saturday, and he clears long over halfway. Richards beaten in the air by Chapman. Town working hard to nick it back. There's a good forceful run from Tonkin, the left back. Plays it in field to Wing, opening up for him here. Shot comes in and it's gone in, and Oxford have scored early on. Oxford ahead. Lee Holmes it was with the shot inside the opening minute from 20 yards, plants it beyond the despairing dive of Chris Neal, and it's the worst possible start for Shrewsbury Town. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 1, and the Greenhouse Meadow is stunned.
Undoubtedly stunned. I'm stunned as well, Stuart. At Crewe on Saturday, we didn't start for 5 or 6 minutes. You know, I thought that warning might have come from the management team. You know, you've got to start quick in these games. He's allowed him to run on that left-hand side. Johnny Taylor was a poor ball, I think, from McAllister. The left-back cut it out, cut inside. Wing he must have run at least 25 yards. And it slipped it looked a harmless shot, didn't it, Stuart, towards the goal. And it's just nestled in that bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, no real power was there, but it was all about placement from Lee Holmes. His first goal for Oxford United. He's on loan from Southampton, and he'll remember that one for a long time. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 1. What have Town got in the locker here by way of response? Oxford lock it up towards halfway, taken down by Rendell. On loan from Wickham, shows it into touch, and Town have a throw. Town caught cold by that early goal from Oxford. They won't panic though. Sharps lifts it forward towards Morgan, cleared by Dewberry. Must be the fastest goal of the night, I would have thought. Full programme near enough in the Football League this evening. Arsenal also in action in Europe. For the first goal of the night here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 1. The only saving grace, it has come so early. It allows Shrewsbury plenty of time to try and make amends.
Yeah, it certainly does, Stuart. But it means we've got to score 2 to win this game.
A couple of other early goals actually. Hereford parted company with Jamie Pittman, the manager, appointed Richard O'Kelly yesterday, and they're a goal up already. Will Evans scoring for them at Macclesfield. Same division, Wimbledon 0, Plymouth 1. Basira the goal scorers. Collins wins a header inside the Oxford penalty area, but it goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. Another early goal in League 2. Bayo Akinfenworth at lowly Northampton. Northampton 1, Bristol Rovers 0. So explosive starts to the League 2 fixture list tonight, including here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford United 1. Here's Chapman in the centre circle. Just nudges it to this near side to Bat. Bat takes a touch and invites Ollie Johnson to stretch his legs down the right-hand side. It's too far in front of Holmes, but it comes off McLaughlin, and that will be a throw to Oxford. Advanced position, right-hand side, playing towards around about 350, 400 perhaps. Oxford United supporters who have made that fairly easy journey up the M40 and M6 to Shropshire tonight, and they're very happy at the moment. Oxford keep the ball on the right-hand side. Sharp turn comes in from Johnson, squeezes the ball into the middle. Granderson mops up on this occasion for Shrewsbury Town. Town on the back foot, ball lifted into the box by Wing. Wing again, 30 yards out, lifts it towards the far side, taken down by Asa Hall. Ball gets away from him and Town double up on him, and Taylor sends it back to Neal, and Neal clears long downfield. Real hammer blow to Shrewsbury Town. They're not used to being behind, are they, in games here at the Greenhouse Meadow? Although that said, they came from a goal down to beat Crawley here last Monday night. This importantly, just try and remain focused and not get too downhearted as Town give a free kick away. They're just inside their own half. Oxford free kick, and Chris Wilder, the Oxford manager, in a black Oxford United coat, hands in pockets, comes out to the edge of the technical area and just urges a bit of quality from this set piece. 4.5 minutes in. Town 0, Oxford 1. What a big side Oxford. Some of the big men from the back have made their way forward. Dewberry though staying back to mind the shot. Here comes the free kick into the box, misses everybody, goes harmlessly out of play, and that will be a goal kick to Shrewsbury Town. Still catching our breath, aren't we, after that explosive start?
Yeah, I think the crowd are as well, Stuart. That was the last thing we expected to happen this early in the stage of the game. But like you said, they've got to keep their confidence, got to keep their patience, and we know that before long they're going to get a chance.
Goal in the Championship, Oxford 0, Derby 0, Blackpool 1. Thomas Ince scoring for Blackpool. Same division, Coventry 0, Crystal Palace 1. Darren Ambrose from the penalty spot for the Eagles. Town of goal down here in League 2. Sharps winning a header midway inside his own half, finds Regan, who loops it towards Taylor. Taylor's up well for a little guy. Looks for McAllister, who's hardly touched the ball so far. And now Richards goes long, up towards Morgan. Morgan's touch is up the best, and able to keep it in. And Oxford now will have a throw midway inside their own half on the left-hand side. This is where Town need the likes of Richards and McAllister to really have strong games.
Yeah, needs to get on the ball straight away, Matt Richards, and start dictating play. It's you expect McAllister to do all the running round and the tackling, but you expect Matt Richards, with his quality on the ball, to get hold of it and get Shrewsbury passing.
Oxford sweep it out to the right-hand side towards Johnson. Played his part in helping Norwich City into the Premier League last season. He's very quick, and here he is again, Johnson, having a go at McLaughlin. He'll just about keep it in. Hooks it in, couldn't wrap his right boot around that one, and he goes harmlessly into touch, and that will be a goal kick to Shrewsbury Town. I haven't even had a chance to give you the two-team lineups as yet. I'll put that right now. Here we go. Shrewsbury 4-4-2. Neil in goal. Back four, Regan, Sharps, Grandison and McLaughlin. In midfield, Taylor, McAllister, Richards and Wright. And up front, Morgan and Collins. Oxford playing 4-3-3 this evening. Ryan Clark in goal. Across the back, Damien Batt, Michael Dewdbury, former Chelsea and Leeds man, Jake Wright, the captain, and Anthony Tonkin. In midfield, Adam Chapman, Andy Wing and Asa Hall. And up front, Ollie Johnson, Scott Rendell and Lee Holmes, who got that early goal after 52 seconds for Oxford. Richards on the ball, just inside his own half, spreads the play to the right-hand side. Taylor touches it back into his own half towards Regan. Lauren Koscielny has given Arsenal an early lead against AC Milan. 4-1 down now on aggregate. Surely couldn't happen, could it? You never can tell in football. That's what makes it such a terrific game. In League 2, Torquay 1, Aldershot 0, Rene Howe. Torquay, another of the teams in the automatic promotion hunt alongside Shrewsbury Town. Oxford have a throw midway inside their own half on the left-hand side, to be taken here by Tonkin, former Crewe player. Throws it long down that line towards Rendell, heads it in field, won back by Richards, and Richards turns it back to Neil. Neil gets rid, first time high into the night sky, helped on by Taylor, couldn't keep it in fact, and the ball goes out of play, and that will be a throw to Oxford again. Oxford a goal to the gut, and playing with lots of confidence. So you just wonder if those Herculean efforts on Saturday, beating Swindon with 10 men for 80 minutes, whether they will catch up with them as the night goes on. Maybe that's just wishful thinking on my behalf, maybe. Regan here, plays it in field to Richards. Richards over halfway to the towering figure of Morgan. Takes it down on the chest, but the ball gets away from the big centre forward. Easily mopped up by Wing. He uses a right back Batt, who tosses it forward fairly aimlessly this time. And he goes all the way through to the goalkeeper, Chris Neal, who bowls it out first time to Sharps. Sharps moves it over halfway to Richards. Richards now to McLaughlin. McLaughlin, good ball retention, uses Morgan 30 yards out, left-hand side. Morgan finds Matty Richards. Richards lifts it forward to McLaughlin. Options here, and McLaughlin gets his head up nice and early. Looks for Collins, who's boxed off by Wright, and the ball goes through to the goalkeeper. And danger over. But at least encouraging to see young McLaughlin prepared to come forward and get involved.
Yeah, well, he said in his interview with James, didn't he, that he likes getting forward. He said he scored a couple of goals for Preston's reserves this year. So he likes to get forward. I think he showed a little bit of that early on against Crewe on Saturday as well, Stu.
Header won by Sharps. Doesn't find anyone in a blue and amber shirt this time, but McAllister wins it strongly, and here's Collins. Collins, nice and strong, finds Wright. Because of anticipation when he gets on the ball. Wright delivers nice and early, here comes the keeper, and it's an easy take for Ryan Clark. See what Wright was trying to do, but he put it too close to the keeper.
Yeah, it's a super ball in, Stuart. I think the centre forwards, I think Mark Wright always likes to check back, doesn't he, and whip it in with his right foot, but a great ball across the face of goal with that left foot, and I I think it caught his two centre forwards by surprise.
Just had a tweet, by the way, Steve, from John Freeman, a Town fan now in exile on the Welsh coast, who tells me he had Lee Holmes to score first at 11-1 tonight. Small comfort. What are you doing backing Oxford players for the first goal, John? What's all that about? It is Oxford who lead by a goal to nil. Regan in the right back position with a fairly unconvincing clearance high into the night sky. An Oxford player is beneath it. Played forward towards Johnson. A poor layoff this time from the ex-Norwich man. Northampton 2-0 up on Bristol Rovers now. Akinfenwa again. Oxford played into the box, slightly in front of Rental, who hits the deck. Very optimistic penalty appeals from the Oxford fans behind that goal, as Grandison had a bit of a coming together with Rendell. I don't think there was anything in that, and it's easily gathered by Chris Neal.
No, nothing at all. The referee was only 10 yards away as well, Stuart. He just waved play on. I think it was just tangled legs between the two sets of players, but I think Town just a little bit in shock from that early opening goal, and it's taken a little bit of time for him to get going.
This is a Town throw to be taken by Regan. Regan back into his own half, and now Sharps, the skipper, lifts it forward, not with any great accuracy. Dewberry, the veteran, tidies up easily enough. Richards now pinks it forward to the feet of Wright. A clever flick. Will it fall for Morgan? No, it won't. Snuffed out by Wing, playing as the holding midfielder for Oxford tonight. Wing plays it over halfway, and it's easily gathered by the powerhouse that is Grandison, and Grandison now goes short towards McLaughlin. McLaughlin infield to Wright, who turns into danger. Has it taken off him by Chapman? He in turn gives it away. Both sides guilty of giving the ball away a bit too easily at the moment. Here come the Town though with Regan. Regan to his fellow Liverpudlian Taylor. Taylor looks for Morgan through the middle, and Morgan's offside. Flag is raised belatedly. Only was raised when Morgan became active, and that'll be an Oxford United free kick, 20 yards from their own goal. Slightly concerning, Steve, the start from Shrewsbury Town here, or do you feel them working their way back into it slowly but surely?
Just working their way a little bit, Stuart. It's one or two players have got to step up to the mark tonight and really put themselves about. But they've just got to start passing it, Stuart. I think we're going long, and that's not Shrewsbury style at the moment.
And they are a goal down here on BBC Radio Shropshire and 96 FM. Oxford have the ball some 40 yards out with the goal scorer Holmes, and good awareness from Holmes to play to Tonkin, the left back, well forward here. Taylor scampering back to try and close him down. Oxford loads it into the box. This is awkward for Neal, who comes through a crowd of players, and a good positive take from Neal, who bounces it once and then drop kicks it downfield. Too high for Morgan, who's got to run now on Dewberry. Morgan putting Dewberry under all sorts of pressure, and Dewberry does well and has good support from Tonkin and Oxford. They play their way out of danger very impressively. So they played up towards halfway. A nice turn from the former Town loanee Asa Hall. Looks at Johnson through the middle. Well mopped up by a combination of Grandison and Sharps, and Town come again here. Signs that they're getting their game together after being rocked to the very foundations by that early Oxford goal inside the opening minute. Good turn from Marvin Morgan just inside the Oxford half. Great sliding tackle from Wing, not once but twice. Really tenacious play from Wing, and it's Oxford who emerge with the ball. Here's Holmes, who looks a class act already. Turns away from Matt Richards, just keeps it nice and simple to Bat, and Bat plays it back into his own half. And here's Dewberry, square to Tonkin. Tonkin works it up into midfield towards Wing again, former Coventry City player, so had a spell at Leyton Orient. Chapman now, Morecambe 0, Cheltenham 1. Darryl Duffy for Town's promotion rivals Cheltenham in second place at start of play tonight. So as it stands, Town losing, Torquay and Cheltenham both winning, which cranks up the pressure that little bit more. Rendell working the channels well. Here he is popping up on the right hand side near the corner flag as Oxford attack. He holds off Richards. Richards stands his ground, and now Wright can bring it away. Lots and lots of space for Taylor on the right side, and Wright goes the other way though. Telegraphs his intentions, easily mopped up by Wright, the Oxford skipper. Back now, the right back into his own half. Dewberry now into his late 30s, pumps it forward, fairly aimless, and that's an easy take for the goalkeeper.
Now the problem with Town at the moment, Stuart, Wing, the Oxford United midfield player, is sitting just in front of the Oxford back four, and it's very, very hard for any of the midfield players or the centre halves to try and get the ball into our centre forwards or wide men. And Town have just got, I think, rearranged their formation at times because Oxford they're dealing better cards on us at the moment and getting lots of the ball. Yeah,
they are a decent side. It's no surprise, is it, to see Oxford in the promotion hunt. They're in 7th spot. 54 points on the board, for the team from the Kassam Stadium at start of play tonight. They were 7 points behind Shrewsbury Town, so make no bones about it, Oxford will know a win here will really put them in the automatic promotion mix, won't it? Here come the Town with McAllister. Haven't seen much of him so far. This time he overruns it. Oxford clear long. It should be dealt with by Sharps. Looping header back to Neil. Set enough purchase on it, and Neil balls it out to Sharps. Sharps carries it forward, just shy of halfway, seeking some movement up ahead of him. Sharps goes square instead to Richards in the centre circle. Richards plays it to the feet of McLaughlin, the Northern Ireland international. Shrugs off Johnson, then he hits the deck. Free kick. Johnson protests his innocence. McLaughlin did go down very easily, but even so, it's a free kick to Shrewsbury Town. This is the chance for them to load the penalty area. Chance for Sharps and Grandison to come forward. Free kick, some 35, 40 yards out maybe, left-hand side. Potential opportunity this for the Town. John Truick and Mike Jackson in control of things in the technical area, with Graham Turner watching from on high in this first half, as he often does. Right hand up, here comes a free kick towards Morgan, flags up. The support is headed goalwards by Grandison, but flags up. Was that a shove in there? Must have been a push, spotted by the assistant on the far side. But even so, Town have stopped in their tracks, and with 16 minutes on the clock, it remains Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 1 here on BBC Radio Shropshire.
I think he gave it for offside, Stuart. I think James Collins was trying to stay just behind the Oxford back four there, a big line of them, and just couldn't get back on side. And as the ball came in, I think he got a little touch, and the linesman's flagged, but they've just got to make sure it's better quality than that.
Johnson for Oxford. 20 yards out, right-hand side. Grandison comes across to close him down, but Johnson's quick. Grandison goes lunging in. Fair challenge, says the referee. And Rotherham 0 through 1 in League 2. Harry Davis from the penalty spot for the Alex. Town no outball for them at the moment, and it's Hall. Hall shoots into the box. Tracking shot comes back off the woodwork of Neil Beaton. Town are creaking here. Mighty close for 2-0. Asa Hall, the ex-Town loanee, with a rocket from 20 yards. Clearly beat the keeper, didn't beat the frame of the goal. Town living so dangerously.
Unbelievable striker from Asa Hall. We've seen what he can do on loan at Shrewsbury, Stuart, and he's a good player, but Town they've got to reorganise at the moment, because they're getting overrun by Oxford's midfield. They've got no answer to it at the moment.
Town look to get Morgan involved here down the left-hand side. Tonkin covers well and turns away from the big centre forward. Clears long over halfway. Headed well won by Grandison. Here's McAllister. The Sheffield United loan man goes short to Regan. Regan to Taylor. Hasn't been in the game at all yet, little John Taylor. What can he do here? Midway inside the Oxford half, delivers nice and early. Beats Morgan, doesn't beat the keeper. Easily gathered by Clark.
Yeah, it's a good ball in from John Taylor. I think Marvin Moore he's up against Dewberry there. He's got to be a little bit stronger. I think every one of Shrewsbury's players has got a little bit stronger at the moment. Stuart, they get knocked off the ball. Oxford are picking all the loose balls up and make it an uncomfortable night for Town.
Here's Mark Wright, midway inside his own half. Showed a bit of that to Chapman, who went in full-blooded, puts it into touch, and Town will have a throw in the left-back position. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 1. Remember, Town haven't lost here at the Greenhouse Meadow in 24 matches in League and Cup. 17 wins and 7 draws, so they won't panic. They have come from behind and done it the hard way in a number of those matches, but even so, Graham Turner would have breathed a mighty sigh of relief that Oxford haven't doubled their advantage as they so nearly did, courtesy of that Asa Hall blockbuster that rattled the bar at the north stand end of the Greenhouse Meadow. Town have a throw, midway inside their own half. Colin McLaughlin will take it down the line towards Morgan, beaten in the air by Johnson. Came off the Oxford man last, actually. So Town will have a throw, and Chris Wilder, the Oxford United manager, played for the likes of Sheffield United and Notts County in his playing career. Town give it away, just inside their own half. Well won back though by Richards. Not once but twice, good tenacity from Richards. And now McAllister on the ball, carries it over halfway. McAllister uses Taylor. Here is Taylor. Plenty of blue and amber shirts in front of him. Taylor goes backwards though to Richards. Spreads the point of play to this near side to McLaughlin. McLaughlin tries a trick or two. Shrugs off Johnson, but then he sells right woefully short. And Oxford clear again, no nonsense clearance from Bat. And Shrewsbury will have to start again with a throw deep inside their own half. Town perhaps just not clicking as manager Turner would have hoped.
No, not as a team at the moment, Stuart. They're playing like a bunch of individuals at the moment. That fluidity that we saw on Saturday at Crewe with the passing moves, it's just not happening, and it's all because of the lad wing for Oxford is breaking up everything the Town throw forward.
McLaughlin Little ball to Morgan. Morgan shows too much of that though to Chapman. And Oxford playing some really good football here, working so hard. Ball knocked forward. Sharps takes command, and Sharps plays it back to the goalkeeper. Neil has to backpedal, and now will look to dispatch it upfield as quickly as he can. In fact, he goes short this time to Sharps. Sharps sweeps it elegantly out to this near side to Grandison, ex-Coventry City player. Then lifts it forward. Then he goes for the high, searching up and under. Should be bats all day long. He clears up towards halfway, helped on by Wing, who's been excellent thus far for Oxford in these opening 20 minutes. McLaughlin though for Shrewsbury Town. 25 yards out, left-hand side. Short ball to Wright, who tries to beat Bat, and Bat gets a tackle in. And Town will have a throw. Adjacent to the edge of the 18-yard box. Oxford, their last visit here, or their only previous visit here. Final day of last season. Town needed to win for any chance of going up. They did by 3-0, but Wickham, alas, also won. The Shrewsbury were resigned to the playoffs, and we all know how they ended. Oxford now look long over halfway. Rendell takes it down, tries to sweep it cross field, well cut out by Regan. Steady Eddie he's becoming for Shrewsbury. Sharp slides it over the halfway line towards Collins with a shaven head. Heavy touch though from Collins, but Collins works hard to win it now. Here's a chance for Taylor to show his paces. Taylor 40 yards out, still Taylor. Great ball to Wright, left hand side, 20 yards out. Forgets to take the ball with him initially. Taylor now looks on as Wright plays it short to McLaughlin. McLaughlin stands it up towards the far post. Too high for Collins, too high for everybody. It's an absolute waste goal kick, Oxford.
You know, Mark Wright is one-on-one with the fullback, Stuart. You know, and he's in more or less in the 18-yard box. The fullback can't touch him. He's got to get at him. He's made himself a yard. He's just got to whip it in. It's like doing doggies for the two centre forwards in there. You know, trying to get a position, expecting the cross to come in first time, and it's rolled back to the fullback. I think they've just got to take a little bit of a chance.
Town old boy Kelvin Langmead has got a third goal for Northampton. Northampton 3, Bristol Rovers 0 at Sixfields, and the Cobblers need the points, don't they? They are too close to the wrong end of League 2 for comfort. Gary Johnson's side, but they're 3-0 up against Bristol Rovers. Town still a goal down here against Oxford on BBC Shropshire. The goal coming after 52 seconds from Lee Holmes of Oxford United. Sharps wants some movement on halfway. Plays it forward to McAllister, who's on the end of another strong challenge from Chapman. Chapman and Wing suddenly like a tackle in the middle of the park for Oxford. Richards in the centre circle. Plays it forward to Collins. Again, it's poor though. And Collins looks totally dejected, frustrated, as the ball again runs through harmlessly to the goalkeeper Ryan Clark, who has not had absolutely anything to do so far, 22.5 minutes in. Now,
at the moment, Oxford are playing a formation of 4-1, Stuart, and it's absolutely baffling Town at the moment. Whether it's baffling the coaching staff for Shrewsbury as well, I'm not sure, because they need to change it a little bit. Because at the moment, you've got Town back four marking one person. You know, you can allow one of the fullbacks to actually push on and be an extra midfield man at the moment, but it's just not happening.
I just have to keep that belief though. Keep believing in what they're good at, passing the ball. Even though they are 1-0 down and the fans might get a little bit twitchy the longer it stays 1-0. Collins looks for Taylor, couldn't quite find him. The Town will get a throw midway inside the Oxford half. Lights are on, decent crowd inside the greenhouse meadow. Around 5,500 I would have thought tonight. Good consistent support from the local fans. Here's Sharps for the Town. Lifts it forward down the inside right channel. Morgan takes it on the chest, turns away from Tonkin. Tonkin clears high into the west stand though. Block 14, and Town have a throw, which Regan takes quickly to McAllister, gives it back to Regan. And McAllister in space. Regan has nowhere to go apart from backwards, which he does to Sharp. Sharp sends it forward. Again it's overhit, and it's easily gathered by the keeper. But wait a minute, Morgan's been held off by Wright. So out of nothing, Town get a free kick in a dangerous position, 20 yards out right hand side.
Yeah, Oxford United players are not happy, are they? I think it was just a case of two bodies coming together. He did just pull him slightly, and the referee spotted it, and it's another chance for Matt Richards here to whip one of these crosses in, and let's hope Town can get ahead of it.
He's a proven set-piece specialist, Matt Richards. Scored lots of goals from set-pieces for Walsall in League 1 last season. What can he do here? 25 yards out, right-hand side. Richards delivers. Here comes a keeper. Punches clear. It is Forrest Dave McAllister. Looping header. And Clark backpedals and tips it over the bar. Town corner, Town's best moment of the night by some distance.
Yeah, it was great header back in from McAllister.
What's he given here?
He's given a free kick against Sharps for pushing the keeper, but I couldn't see an infringement there, to be fair.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all, no. Well, that's a new one on me, so we'll get on with the game, but that's better from Town. At least they're putting the Oxford keeper under pressure.
But it will have to be chalked off our records as an attempt on goal, won't it? Because it wouldn't have counted anyway. So it still means that basically Town haven't forced a save out of the goalkeeper. Although they have, although it wouldn't have counted in any case. A bit of backing into the keeper from Sharps on the keeper. Maybe the referee perhaps thought he'd been a little bit harsh on Oxford in giving a free kick in the first place. Stephen Rushton of Staffordshire, by the way, is the man in charge of this League Two clash this evening. 25 minutes in, Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 1. Listening to the game with former Town favourite Steve Cross and myself, Stuart Dunn, on BBC Shropshire 96 FM. The League Two leaders Swindon are in front against Dagenham. Billy Bowden has scored. Swindon 1, Dagenham 0. Looks a home banker all night long there, doesn't it? This didn't look like a home banker. Always looked like it was going to be a tricky game, but it's certainly proving to be as well. Town a goal down. Arsenal 2, AC Milan 0. Thomas Rosicki with a second for the Gunners. Remember, they were 4-0 down in the first leg in Italy, 2-0 up. They've only played about half an hour. Arsenal 2-0 up already as they look to make an amazing turnaround. This is better from Shrewsbury Town. Fans getting a bit behind them, trudging into the tackle. Sharps on halfway, pumps it forward. Collins will give chase, but it will be the left backs here. Tonkin, and Tonkin turns long over halfway. This is awkward for Grandison. Rendell giving chase, and Rendell, is he away from him? No, he isn't. Grandison stuck to his guns and did enough to shepherd it back to the keeper. Good player though, Scott Rendell.
Yeah, he is. He's given, even though he's playing up there on his own, Stuart, you would think he's 2 or 3 men at the moment, occupying Town's back four with comfortable ease.
Dewberry plays it back to the goalkeeper in League Two. Macclesfield 0. The Hereford 2. Will Evans is second of the night. Isn't it remarkable how often a change of manager can have such a positive impact straight away? And that's certainly the case for Hereford. Town a goal down still to Oxford. The goal coming on 52 seconds here tonight. Lee Holmes allowed to run from deep, got to within about 20-25 yards from goal, and he took aim with a really deliberately placed right footer into the bottom corner of the net. No chance at all for the Shrewsbury Town goalkeeper, Chris Neal. Really well placed from Holmes, who's on loan from Southampton. I think he used to be at Derby as well, didn't he, in days gone by?
Yeah, I remember covering Derby quite a lot for PA News, and yeah, Lee Holmes, a young player, broke onto the scene, and he's still going strong, Stuart.
Yep. Collins really got into the game at all tonight, Town's top goal scorer, and leaves his calling card here on wing. You didn't take too kindly to the challenge. Referee Rushton steps in. Marvin Morgan just pushing Dewberry out of it as well as he tries to poke his nose into the conversation between Collins and the referee. I think it's just going to be a talking to for Collins. Is he lucky, or was that worthy of a yellow card?
No, it's a 50-50 challenge, Stuart. You know, I think both players had the foot up as the ball came across. I think James Collins was just a little bit late, and the referee quite rightly stopped it. But yeah, there's a little bit of a battle going on between Oxford's two centre halves and Collins and Morgan, because at the moment Oxford's back two are getting the better of our two.
Dewberry takes his free kick, headed on by Hall, and behind it goes, and that'll be a goal kick to Shrewsbury Town. Town at home again on Saturday. Burton Albion in free fall at the moment under Paul Pesky-Salido. They come to Town. Lionel Ainsworth, who's just joined the Brewers on loan earlier today, not allowed to play in that game, by the way. Town have clearly learned the lesson of that unfortunate Jake Robertson episode when he scored against them for Torquay last year. Town come forward here with Taylor. Taylor crosses from the right, doesn't find Morgan. Oxford clear easily enough. Town will look to keep the pressure on with Richards. 40 yards out, plays a give and go with Regan. And Richards again, it's all in front of him. Pings it into the feet of Collins. Poor touch from Collins. Ball played towards McAllister, and now Collins in the area. Right hand side, cuts inside. Collins goes down. Surely a penalty. What's he going to give here? He's giving it the other way. And I'm staggered. Collins cut inside, down he went, and he's been booked for diving, which I think is extremely harsh. I'd love to see it again.
You know what, Stuart? You know, he stayed up on his feet, trying to be a good pro that he is. He should have gone down the first time when he got kicked, and he's tried to get up, had a stumble, and then he's gone down. That's why the referee's blocked him. But it was a penalty if he'd have gone down the first time.
I always think it's so harsh when players are booked, but yes, of course, in some cases you can see they're over-egging it, but this time I thought there was contact there, and down he went. And he's an unlucky boy for me, James Collins. Maybe it was on the referee's mind as well that Collins had just spoken to a few minutes before. Collins fell under the collar. He'll just have to try and channel his aggression now, because he'll be wound up now.
Yeah, but we need him to stay on the field as well, Stuart. You know, wound up enough to stay on the field and help the team, because tonight we are going to need 11 players.
Shrewsbury 0, Oxford United 1. Half an hour played. Granderson forward to Wright. Wright turns and plays it forward to Morgan. Overhit though. Morgan's going to do well to keep it in. He does actually. Prevents that from going behind for a goal kick. But it will be an Oxford throw in the right back position. Maybe that's the sort of decision there that needs Town to, and the fans, to get the bit between their teeth to really work everybody up.
Well, it did, didn't it? You know, it worked in the Southend game, didn't it, when we had our player sent off and the team rallied. You know, sometimes you just have to fight against something. The referee's doing all he can tonight to get himself on the wrong side of our fans, and it's certainly winding the fans up. Let's just hope he can wind the players up.
Still plenty of time, only half an hour into this one. So 2/3 of this football match still to be played out in front of us. And on the airwaves of BBC Radio Shropshire, but at Shrewsbury 0, Oxford United 1. McLaughlin wins a header just inside his own half. The two Oxford men go for the same ball, Wing and Batt. Don't think Batt appreciated his midfield colleague getting in his way there, but it will be a Town throw. And McLaughlin, the dark-haired Ulsterman, Belfast boy, played quite a few times for Preston North End in League One this season with the throw down the line. The ball bounces away from Big Morgan, Wright putting himself about. But Oxford mop up again easily enough. They clear up towards Ollie Johnson. Goes down very easily. Well won back by McLaughlin. McLaughlin, one left back, finds the right back. Regan to Taylor. Taylor on the ball, still searching for his first goal of the season. Taylor needs to get his head up here. Heading down a blind alley. Then he gets after the loose ball. He's chopped down and Town get a free kick. Some 25 yards out, and that's what Town needs to do more of. Especially the wide players, run at the opposition. Yeah,
definitely. You know, Mark Rice had plenty of opportunity as well, Stuart. Just got to get in the box, get past him. You know, if you put your cross in and it gets blocked, it'll go out for a corner, and that's, you know, more direct pressure on the Oxford goal, but they've got to put crosses in the box.
Town free kick to be taken here by Matty Richards, congested penalty area. Granderson, Sharps all in there. Richards whips in, should be the goalkeeper's headed over by Collins. Keeper came, didn't get it, and Collins flick of the head. And he wasn't too far off target there. Easily Town's best moment.
Yeah, great ball in from Matt Richards, and all James Collins needed to do then was just have a little glance, you know, with his head, and it would have probably just sneaked into that top right-hand corner of the net. But he tried to head it towards the goal. It's just gone over the top of the bar. Unlucky from James Collins, but at least Town strikers are getting a bit closer.
And the Oxford goalkeeper Clark now being booked, Steve.
He's a bit paninicky, isn't he? He's one of the paninicky referees, Stuart.
Time wasted.
Oh, it is, yeah, for time wasted.
Shocking decision.
It is.
It's taken no time at all for me. Dear me, what's all that about? Almost as crazy as a decision to book Chris Neal for time wasting against Crawley a week ago. Oxford on the attack, shot from the edge of the box, and it's turned over by Chris Neal. That was dangerous. It was Holmes again. Ran at the heart of the Town defence. Town haven't learned their lesson. Stinging shot. And a good job Neil was on his toes to turn that one over for a corner.
Yeah, it was a good save in the end, Stuart, because I think Neil was halfway down there expecting a shot from Holmes to go on the floor. It kicked up, and it was a great save with his right hand, but it's one player they're going to have to keep hold of.
Yeah, someone really has to get tighter on Holmes. Scored the goal. Might have easily had a second there for Oxford, who've also hit the bar tonight. Here comes a corner. Headed away at the near post by Matty Richards. And the ball is into touch. That'll be an Oxford throw on the right-hand side. The attendance has been confirmed. 5,205. 5,205. 352 here supporting Oxford, and they're very happy at the moment in the scoreline of Shrewsbury 0, Oxford United 1. Ball bouncing just out of play. Will be a goal kick. Morecambe have equalised against Cheltenham. That's some good news at least for Shrewsbury Town. Cheltenham second in League 2. Kevin Ellison with the Cheltenham leveller up there at the Globe Arena. Town are still 1-0 down there to Oxford. At least more encouraging signs, at least, for the Town the last 5 or 10 minutes, Steve Cross.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, it's a little bit of a disjointed display in this first 30 minutes of the game, Stuart, but just starting to put a few little moves together. Johnny Taylor getting on the ball, Mark Wright getting on the ball. That's what we need, and get crosses in the box.
McLaughlin has some work to do here, the left back, deputising for the injured Joe Jacobson for the second successive game. Hard act to follow, isn't he, really? Jacobson been such a model of consistency all season at left back. Got a groin complaint at the moment. McLaughlin takes a throw short to Granderson, and McLaughlin again plays it forward right-footed. Good header in field from Morgan. Doesn't quite find his strike partner Collins. Dewberry scoops it clear for Oxford United. Town now have it back inside their own half with Sharps. Sharps carries it forward, looking for someone to give it to, plants it forward over the top. Morgan's the obvious target, well mopped up by Wright, the Oxford skipper. Town will have to start again. Richards becoming more of an influence in the centre circle, finds McLaughlin. Wright now hugging this near side touchline on halfway. Wright tries a trick, out-muscled by Bat, but Richards bails him out. Richards looking for someone to give it to, great ball to the feet of McLaughlin, clever flick. He's unable to find Morgan, but Morgan now wins it. Mark Wright is offside! Late flag as Wright shoots, slices it wide in any case. But all the little tight decisions going against the Town, it would seem, tonight. They're 1-0 down.
Yeah, it's, to be fair to the linesman, his flag was up straight away, Stuart, but I couldn't say I thought he was level, to be fair, but yeah, they do seem that when you're going against it, all the decisions seem to go against it, don't they? But Town have just got to keep battling away, Stuart. They've really hard, because such an important game here tonight.
It certainly is. With 9 minutes to play in the first half on BBC Shropshire, number 1 football station, it's not going to plan. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 1. Shrewsbury in 4th, Oxford in 7th. Morgan for the Town, gives it away badly on halfway, as does Tompkins, the Oxford left back. Richards doesn't give it away, rarely does. He plays it over halfway. Little John Taylor skips inside, goes back into his own half to Sharps. Sharps now running forward with the ball confidently. A great run actually from the captain. Tries to thread it through to Collins, it's blocked off, but keeps going, and actually it will be an Oxford throw midway inside their own half. Sharps trying to lead by example there, bringing the ball forward confidently from the back, but just no way through for Shrewsbury at the moment. Collins has gone close with the header just over the top. Town just have to keep that belief, and it goes without saying, of course, an equaliser before half-time would be fantastic news for Graham Turner's side. We'll talk about Lionel Ainsworth's loan switch to Burton in a moment with Steve, when we get a convenient moment. But wait a minute, here come the Town with Collins. Collins has got McLaughlin well forward, 35 yards out left-hand side. McLaughlin does well, goes through 2 players, and Johnson tackles back, but concedes a corner to Shrewsbury Town. Here comes Sharps and Granderson up from the back once again. Needs a good ball first and foremost from Wright.
Yeah, good play from McLaughlin there, Stuart. You know, he's a naturally right-footed player, dragging it with his right and cut inside, and the Oxford player had to tackle him to get the ball out.
Now Wright spotting up the ball in the Salop Leisure stand end of the Greenhouse Meadow, which is just over half full tonight. Wright towards the near post. How many times does he take those disappointing corners which don't beat the first man? Volleyed clear up towards halfway to Johnson, and Johnson's got support from Holmes, so he can get his head up, and he can. Holmes in the penalty area, chance for 2-0, and Holmes has scored! And it all stemmed from a really poor corner from Mark Wright. Oxford hammered it downfield. Clever play from Johnson to play in Holmes, and Holmes lifts it over Neil, and daylight for Oxford. Town's unbeaten record here, which goes back over a year, in grave danger of coming to an end here. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 2.
Well, you've got to give credit to Oxford, Stuart. You know, that was Shrewsbury's corner. They'd headed it clear. It was a poor corner from Mark Wright. It was volley clear by, I think, Dewberry. And then it was a bit of a race between McLaughlin and the Oxford United centre forward. McLaughlin was just shrugged off for me, unfortunately. Holmes has raced up that left-hand side, a lovely ball from the Oxford centre forward, and there was Holmes doing what he does best, just clipped it into the bottom right-hand corner of the net, and this is a big ask now from Town, a big ask.
It all came from that corner from Mark Wright, who has got many good attributes to his game, but his corners so often, they're infuriating, aren't they? How they go towards the near post and they're just smashed downfield, and that's exactly what's happened here. Really disappointing. Mark Wright will not want to watch that one back.
Not at all, Stuart. You know, and it's given a Shrewsbury absolute mountain to climb, because at the moment Oxford are bossing this game. They have done from the first minute with that goal, and they've just got better and better. And Town are so disjointed at the moment. It's untrue.
And Lee Holmes, the on-loan Southampton man, with his second goal of the night. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 2. It's a long way back, isn't it, for Graham Turner's men all of a sudden. Oxford have a throw, advanced position left-hand side. Gillingham 0, Barnet 1 in League 2. Clovis Camjo, the goal scorer there for the North Londoners. Oxford fans enjoying it. They were turned over by 3-0 here in May. They could have no complaints, but they're enjoying their return much more here. Classic counter-attack from Oxford as they sling the ball into the town box again. Shooting chance here for Chapman, and he gets it badly wrong this time, and he goes behind, but he took a touch en route. Corner to Oxford, who are playing with no fear despite Shrewsbury's formidable home record. They're really enjoying this.
Yeah, they definitely are, Stuart. And, and to be fair, you sometimes we say we look at it through blue and amber eyes, but to be fair to Oxford, they've bossed this game. They put Shrewsbury to the sword tonight, and it looks like a few very, very nervous town players out there tonight for me.
2-0 Oxford. They've also hit the bar, remember, through Asa Hall, so they deserve to be in front of that, there is no doubt. Here comes a corner. Neil comes a long way, and a good claim from the goalkeeper, and Town could ideally do with getting one back before half-time as Neil clears long downfield. Clark has come a long way out, and Tonkin has almost played it past him. He has, and luckily for Tonkin, he played it away from goal. Taylor closed him down, but it will be a corner. But there was some miscommunication there in the Oxford defensive ranks, and Taylor almost took advantage. Corner to Shrewsbury, and they could really do with making this one count. First of all, Richards has to deliver a much better corner than the one taken by Wright a couple of minutes ago. Granderson in there again. Here comes a corner. Clark punches it clear, but as far as the edge of the box. McAllister tries to make something happen. Taylor wins it and plays it out to the right hand side. Not the best of balls. Richards has to get on his bike to keep it for the Town. Regan, McLaughlin now on halfway, pumps it forward. Sharps, good flick. They're helped on by Collins. Morgan on the turn, and Morgan's in pretty wide. Whisker wide, headed down by Collins, and Morgan spat sharply and fired wide. Goal kick.
Yeah, it's a chance, wasn't it, Stuart? Yeah, lovely ball in. I think it was from McLaughlin, and a little head down from Sharps, and just couldn't get the end of it. Couldn't get enough purchase on it, could he, Marvin Morgan? But that would have been a great time to get the goal back and at least go into half-time at 2-1 and a chance for the second half. We need a goal.
Certainly do. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford United 2 here on BBC Radio Shropshire. The last unbeaten home record in England in all competitions. In serious danger, it would seem. Like some Man City and Charlton, just like Town, also unbeaten at home this season in the league. But both City and Charlton have suffered cup defeats. Shrewsbury haven't lost in any competition here, but they're 2-0 down. They need one back. Here's Taylor. Taylor central position, 20 yards out, didn't get his head up in time. Overruns it, and Oxford clear easily enough. Town will have to start again with Sharps. Plays it out to this near side. McLaughlin, right ball forward to Sharps, who goes lunging in. McLaughlin now does well. Right, drops his shoulder, cuts inside, clearly taken out by Chapman. Town free kick, and that should be surely a yellow card for Chapman. Or was it Wing who caught him?
Yeah, it was Wing caught him. Should have been a yellow card, Stuart. Mark Rice just ghosted away from the two Oxford United players, and he deliberately brought him down. For me, that's a booking. But it gives Mark Wright a chance now. We need something on this goal. We need something to test the keeper.
Well, Mark Wright spotting up the ball here. Oxford have built a four-man defensive wall. It's left of centre. And Town ideally could do with this ball sailing past the goalkeeper, Ryan Clark. Holmes has been doing a spying mission behind Mark Wright, as Wright now delivers towards the far stick, and it misses everybody, and it goes harmlessly behind. Goal kick, and it's getting more and more frustrating for Shrewsbury. They're not used to having such frustrating evenings at Greenhouse Meadow these days.
No, not at all, Stuart. Mark Wright again, he's wasted that free kick for me. It's just to go out of play. It's just giving Oxford a free ticket to knock the ball further up the field, and you've got to really challenge the keeper, and we're not doing it at the moment.
Here's James Collins on halfway, loses out. Oxford clear long. Wimbledon 1, Plymouth 1 in League 2. Jack Midson with the equaliser for Wimbledon. Think there might be another goal at the Emirates as well. Penalty, Robin van Persie. Arsenal 3, AC Milan 0. Unbelievable. They were 4-0 down from the first leg, and they're 3-0 up before half-time tonight in North London. Miracles can happen. Town, I wouldn't say they require a miracle as such, but even so, they have it all to do here against Oxford United, who lead by 2-0. Matt Richard is going to take this free kick for Shrewsbury Town. Richards delivers into the penalty area. Clark comes a long way. Punches clear. Not overly convincing. Ball still in the danger area. And McAllister heads it on. Smashed clear by Rendell. In the FA Cup fifth round replay, by the way, at St Andrews. Chelsea beginning life without Andre Villas-Boas, who was relieved of his duties over the weekend. 0-0. With Birmingham as they move towards half-time there. Dewberry clears here for Oxford. Can Rendell keep it in? No, he can't. but it will be a Town throw. Final minute of this first half. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 2 on BBC Radio Shropshire. Richards with a throw, back to McLaughlin, to Richards again. Richards plays it square to Sharps. Sharps in the centre circle, carries it forward, plants it downfield towards Morgan. Morgan's up well, but he only succeeds in heading it right through to the goalkeeper, and we move into 2 minutes. We've added on time at the end of the first half. How do you sum up Town's first half performance, Steve?
Well, it's been poor, Stuart, for me. The defending for both goals, absolutely atrocious. I think Graham will be absolutely sickened by the way that they've conceded 2 goals, really, when they shouldn't have. They should have been stopped at source, really, and the second goal really sums it up to Town's performance. 1v1 and 2v2. You don't do that from your own corner, and it's poor play from Town.
Here's Holmes, who's on a hat-trick now, of course, all of a sudden. Hammers it hopefully forward, and it goes all the way through this time to Neil. Beaten twice tonight by the on-loan Southampton man. And Neil clears long downfield towards Collins, who headed just over the top. Also had reasonable penalty appeals rejected when it was 1-0 to the yellow-shirted visitors. Richards now for the Town. On halfway, blocked off by Hall. And the ball goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. Again, Neil plants long downfield towards Morgan. Doesn't win a flick on. Easily dealt with by Dewberry. McLaughlin has nowhere to go apart from back into his own half. Just wonder whether Graham Turner might think about changes at half-time. He made a double switch, didn't he, against Crawley to get them going here last Monday night. And he has got people like Rowe and Gornell and Sawyers on the bench tonight. No Ainsworth there, having been loaned to Burton earlier today. We will get Steve's thoughts on that, honestly, as this evening develops. Here's Grandison for the Town. Grandison plays it forward, overhit. Didn't give McLaughlin any sort of reasonable chance of getting involved, and the ball goes out of play. Mark Richards has scored for League Two's crisis club, Port Vale. Vale 1, Burton 0 at Vale Park. Stoppage time then at the end of the first half. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford United 2. Holmes in the first minute and the 37th minute for Oxford United, and there it is, half-time, and boos at half-time, I could clearly hear. Shrewsbury 0, Oxford 2. And it's the midfield player Lee Holmes, on loan from Southampton, has got both goals for Oxford, one after 52 seconds, the other in the 38th minute. Shrewsbury have it all to do. Here's Regan, the right back, heads it in the right direction towards McAllister. Found it hard to get into the game in the first half, the Dubliner on loan from Sheffield United. It wasn't alone though in blue and amber in that respect. McLaughlin to right, whose poor corner indirectly led to the second Oxford goal. Plays it forward and Dewberry steps in, and that's a little cultured touch from Chapman to Bat, and Bat drives forward, and there's a good challenge by Grandison. Grandison leaves his calling card all over Ollie Johnson, who's not moving at all well, but it's Town who emerge with the ball. Ian Sharps in the centre circle, marauding run again from the captain, plays it into the feet of Richards. Options right and left. Richards uses right with a heavy touch as a tackle came in from Bat. Ball runs away from him, and that will be a goal kick to Oxford United.
I think that's a great move by Sharps, Stuart. I think that Oxford are playing just the one up front, and it gives Grandison and Sharps a chance to move through the Oxford United team, and Sharps did extremely well then, playing the ball up to Mark Wright, but just couldn't get another crossing.
Here's Johnson from the Norwich City man, bit of ball juggling on halfway, still he has it. Then goes back into his own half, and ball is played forward now by Bat. Town step in initially. Here's Asa Hall with a bit of a slice clearance high into the night sky, and no one in blue and amber can take advantage though, and the ball runs away, and that will be a throw to Oxford. 5,205 here tonight, and all bar 352 Oxford supporters. They're just hoping the Town can somehow turn it around. Look a bit devoid of inspiration at the moment, but never right Shrewsbury off here at the Greenhouse Meadow, where so many teams have fallen by the wayside. Away teams have fallen by the wayside in the last year. Town, their last defeat here, March the 1st, 2011, a Tuesday night game incidentally against Bury. Town have been invincible though here since then. Oxford have a throw, attacking position right hand side. Give you a reminder of the two teams. Town, Neil in goal, back four, Regan, Sharps, Grandison and McLaughlin. In midfield, Taylor, McAllister, Dave McAllister. Sean McAllister not involved again this evening. Richards and Wright and up from Morgan and Collins as Oxford overplay down the right-hand side, and Shrewsbury get a throw in the left-back position to be taken by McLaughlin, who might have done better, we think, with his involvement in Oxford's second goal. Long ball played up towards Johnson, who got the better of McLaughlin before setting Holmes free to make it 2-0. Town now looks at Collins. Good holder play from the centre forward. Mark Wright can get away from Dewberry here. Morgan in front of him. Richards and Collins busting a gut to get into the middle. Wright heads down a blind alley, then he falls over. But he does get a free kick, says referee Rushton, some 40 yards down left-hand side.
Yeah, he was all over Mark like a rush then, Stuart. He wouldn't let him go left or right, and eventually bringing him down. But again, another chance. Now Mark Wright has got to put some quality in the box this time. He really has.
Goal in League Two. Gillingham have equalised against Barnet. One apiece at the Priest Field. Dennis Ollie, the goal scorer. People still taking their seats here at the Greenhouse Meadow at the start of this second half. Mark Wright to take the free kick. Oxford have playing a fairly high line on the edge of their 18-yard box. Sharps and Grandison and Collins all in there. Here comes a free kick towards Morgan, headed away by Wright, the Oxford skipper. Clears completed by Hall, only as far as Wright, who cuts inside. Wright then goes back on himself, threads it forward. Good break for Collins here. Collins in the area, gets the benefit of the bench. Collins shoots and it's saved by Clark from a tight angle. Chris Wilder was livid. He felt there was a foul from Collins in amongst that. But play allowed to continue. Town's throw, better tempo. They look for Collins, who leans into the defender, and Oxford hook it into touch. That was better though. James Collins at least forcing a save from Clark. McLaughlin now crosses to the left-hand side, easily headed away by Hall. Town just need a goal here to give them some hope. John Taylor for the Town. John Taylor wanders in field, still has it. Uses McAllister now to Sharps. Sharps playing well forward in this second half, on the front foot. Wright crosses from the left-hand side, doesn't find Morgan. Again Oxford clear well with Wright, the captain, having a very good game at the back for the years. Grandison now for the Town. He came forward to really good effect, didn't he, against Crawley in the last home game, but this time he loses out. And Oxford could spring forward here with Rendell in the centre circle. Rendell brings Chapman into it, and Chapman's ball to the far side is overhit, and it's easily gathered by McLaughlin. Straight away you can see the Town are playing at a much better tempo.
Oh yeah, the pace has picked up considerably, and so that's something that had to do with Graham Turner's half-time talk, really, Stuart. You know, until you've laid into a couple of players. Not acceptable, the first half performance, and it's shown in this opening first couple of minutes of the second half.
I'll give the Oxford team as well quickly. No changes made inevitably by their manager Chris Wilder. Andy Melville, his number 2, by the way, the former Wales international defender. Clark in goal. At the back, Batt, Dewberry, Wright and Tonkin. In midfield, Chapman, Wing and Hall, and up front Johnson, Rendell, and the 2-goal hero for them so far, Holmes, who's got those 2 goals to give them Oxford the advantage. Sharps now with a long breaking through ball, runs away from Collins and goes behind for a goal kick. Big goal in League Two elsewhere, good one as well from a Shrewsbury point of view. Isaac Reed has given Morecambe a 2-1 lead over Cheltenham, second place Cheltenham. So with Town 2-0 down, Steve, we find ourselves almost looking for this to be a damage limitation exercise.
Yeah, definitely, Stuart. You know, it's the way that the results have gone for us tonight as well. This would have been an ideal opportunity, fantastic opportunity to get.
Still might be.
Yeah, still might be. You never know, Stuart. You're right.
As it stands, though, let's have a quick recap on results of the other big successful teams in League Two. Swindon, the leaders, are winning again, aren't they, against Dagenham tonight? Cheltenham are losing as Wright crosses to the left-hand side, and it's slightly in front of Taylor, and it runs out of play, and that will be a goal kick to Oxford, who are not happy about something. They're surrounding the referee, couldn't see anything wrong with that. So just to recap, Swindon, the leaders, are leading against Dagenham. Cheltenham in second place, a 2-1 down at Morecambe. Shrewsbury obviously in fourth, a 2-0 down here against Oxford. Torquay just below Shrewsbury Town on the table. They lead Aldershot, one of the form teams, by a goal to nil, have played more. And the other 2 teams in the top 7 played last night, Southend and Crawley. And that ended 0-0 at Rooksall. Goal in League Two, Bradford 1, Accrington 0. Narkey Wells, a Bermudan for Bradford. Wimbledon 1, Plymouth 2. Nick Chadwick, former Shrewsbury centre forward, has got the goal there for Plymouth Argyle. Oxford physio is required here. Batt, the right back, has gone down. It will be a Town throw when we get going again. Macclesfield's got one back against Hereford as well. Macclesfield 1, Hereford 2. So lots of goals in League Two tonight. 2 here at the Greenhouse Meadow, alas. Both of them going the way of Oxford in 7th at start of play tonight. But victory here this evening will see them move to within just 4 points of Shrewsbury Town. Getting very tight, isn't it? No good for the blood pressure, these promotion races. On the other side of the coin, it's better to be in a promotion race than a relegation dogfight, and we've had plenty of those, haven't we, with Shrewsbury down the years. BBC Radio Shropshire, 96 FM. The Oxford physio still on, giving some treatment. Just killing any sort of momentum time we're trying to build up at the start of the second half.
Yeah, definitely, Stuart, and I think that's what the Shrewsbury crowd are trying to indicate to the referee as well, that the fullback Bat isn't really injured, he's just trying to waste time, but it has definitely lessened the momentum of the Town.
Richards crosses from the left towards Collins, whose touch let him down. Oxford clear up towards halfway. Good hold of play from Rendell on loan from Wycombe Wanderers. Helped them get promotion at Shrewsbury's expense, of course, last season. Asa Hall now, tall, rangy midfield player. Goes short to Holmes, who sweeps the ball in from the left-hand side, headed away easily enough. Good outball from Richards, taken down on the chest by Marvin Morgan. Morgan turns away from Hall and looks for Taylor. Clever ball in field to McAllister. McAllister now on the burst. McAllister does well to play Morgan in on the right-hand side. The angle's tight. Morgan flashing in the cross goal. To right, and right, smashes home gloriously on the volley, and Town are back in it. 54 minutes played. Glorious volley from right into the top corner, made by Morgan. It shoots me 1 Oxford 2.
What a, you know what, Stuart, that is a top class finish from Mark Wright. I can forgive him for his corner now. Believe me, that is an absolutely excellent finish. Absolutely superb. One of the best goals you'll see down at the Greenhouse Meadow here for a long time. Excellent goal.
Really was a beauty. Great move as well if you look at it. Taylor, McAllister, Morgan, all doing really well in the build-up. Morgan, great ball in on the run, and well, wow, what a finish. On the volley, made it look much easier than it was. Sat up on the volley, into the top corner, glorious. 10th goal of the season for Mark Wright. 14 goals last season, 10 this season. How's that for a wide player? Here come the Town again with Morgan. Town have got the bit between their teeth now. Morgan overdoes it this time. Game on though at the Greenhouse Meadow.
Yeah, definitely, Stuart. Definitely got the bit between the teeth, as you say, and you know, a lot of credit as well. That goal to McAllister, you know, absolute superb battling qualities to get through the ball through to Morgan, who crossed it in.
The entire mood has changed around Greenhouse Meadow. 5,200 in. Ball played forward towards Collins. Ball gets away from him. Here's Wright on halfway and looks for Collins. Town just trying to build on that momentum. Back in the game, back in the hunt. Here's Holmes, he's a danger man for Oxford. Sharp turn away from Regan. Oh, well played, Regan. Stuck to his guns and picks Holmes' pocket. And now Town come forward. Taylor slides it forward down the inside right channel to Morgan. Town fighting hard to preserve their proud unbeaten home record here. Regan with a throw back into his own half. More good news from Morecambe. Morecambe 3, Cheltenham 1. Kevin Ellison. So if Town can do something here, what a chance to put the pressure on Sheldon. McLaughlin now, the fullback up from the back. McLaughlin shoots! And it's wide, a long way wide. When he hit it, I thought it was going to end up closer to the goal than it actually was. But even so, why not? It's indicative of the change in mood around the Greenhouse Meadow. Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2, and it's for you live as always here on BBC Radio Shropshire.
Well, the pressure now is building on this Oxford side. They don't seem as lively. Stuart, you mentioned at the start of the programme, you know, would that effect of only playing with 10 men for so long against Swindon have any effect? I think it has. I think Oxford are wilting under Town's ferocious pressure, and we thought that little stoppage where the fullback went down, you know, would deaden the game, but it's just galvanised Town even more.
Certainly has. It really is. Game on. 2-1 to Oxford United in the FA Cup. Birmingham 0, Chelsea 1. Juan Mata, the Spaniard, has given managerless Chelsea the lead at St Andrews. Roberto Di Matteo, the caretaker boss, of course. Here's Sharps, who's really set high standards at the start of the second half, charging forward and heads it into touch. And Oxford now will have a throw, which Tonkin will take for Oxford. Down the line, well cleared by Regan, infield to Collins, and Collins turns sharply, looks for Taylor. Taylor goes back to Regan. Regan clips it over halfway, and Morgan's up well. The ball sails over his head. Dewberry sends it back to the goalkeeper, and Clark, under pressure from Collins, gets his clearance away to McLaughlin in the centre circle. McLaughlin deals with it. Town will start again here with McLaughlin snapping away at the ankles of Johnson, but Oxford keep the ball neatly. He sends it forward, Johnson. Grandison steps in for Shrewsbury again. Frantic, all-action game now. Town have got that belief back. Off the pace for much of the first half, but Wright firing them back into contention. Here's McLaughlin again, the Irishman. The goal scorer now. Wright takes over. Wright on the charge, slaloming run forward, looks for Collins. That's a really good ball from McAllister, who was involved in the goal. Graham Turner now on the sideline judging his team off. Here's Little Taylor up against Tonkin. Manufactures a ball into the middle, and McAllister goes down on the edge of the box. Morgan goes into a tackle. Here's McAllister again. Good footwork. McAllister drives into the middle, then cleared by Dewberry on the edge of the 6-yard box. And all of a sudden Oxford look a little bit ragged when Town go at them. Yeah,
they certainly do, Stuart, at the moment. They're getting the ball out wide, they're getting the balls into the box. John Taylor, Mark Wright coming into the game more and more. And for me, Sean McAllister in that midfield. David McAllister. Absolutely super game in the second half so
really
far.
Has taken the game by the scruff of the neck, hasn't he, since the restart. He was a little bit quiet in the first half, but much more like it. Town could be in again here with McLaughlin, fed by Wright. Down he goes, he's had a free kick, it goes the other way. It goes away of Oxford. It was a 50-50 ball, and McLaughlin had every right to go for it. And the Oxford man Batt has come on second best, and Swindon are about to Oxford are about to send on an on-loan Swindon player, Mehdi Carucci, who scored quite a few goals for Swindon actually this season. He's fallen out of favour though with Paladicania. Carucci is about to be introduced here for Oxford United on the hour mark. Chris Wilder is trying to freshen things up because he knows his team are coming a little bit more under the cosh.
Yeah, it certainly is. Wouldn't be surprised if he joins his other Oxford centre forward up front, because at the moment Town's back forward are coming through at ease and setting plenty of chances up for attacking players.
Carucci with a shaven head, just getting some final instructions from Andy Melville. Here comes the change. Let's have a look who's coming off. It's Chapman, starting his first game since helping Oxford get promotion a couple of years ago. It's been a long absence. He's lasted an hour. Carucci now coming on for Chapman. Good player at this point.
Yes, as you say, he's fallen out of favour of Swindon, hasn't he, Stuart? So he'll have to be one to be watched. If Swindon can let him go with their goal-scoring record, he must be a good player.
Well, gambling expert John Freeman's been back in touch via Twitter. Remember, he had the Oxford player Holmes 11-1 first goal scorer tonight. He tells me Town for Oxford to be leading at half-time and Town at full-time 28-1. Who had a bet on that, I wonder? Could it happen? Well, they've still got plenty of work to do, but it's Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2 here on BBC Radio Shropshire. Mark Wright giving Town hope in the 54th minute. Oxford on the attack with Carucci straight away, and he runs into Grandison, and that goes behind, and that'll be a goal kick to Shrewsbury Town, and Chris Neal is going to spot the ball up. Town always seem to play better as well for me when Graham Turner comes downstairs and watches from right on the touchline.
Yeah, you always seem to play better when your manager's only 10 yards away from you on the pitch and within yelling distance. But it's just important that Town keep the momentum going. It's going to be a hard graft because Oxford are just going to try and spoil it for the rest of the game, Stuart.
Collins sends it forward, one for Morgan to chase. Tonkin will try and usher this one out, but Morgan's done really well, doesn't quite win a corner, but still putting the pressure on. No out ball for Oxford. Sharps to Collins back in field to Richards. Town playing with a certain amount of confidence. You think they've got that belief to get back into it the way they're playing. McLaughlin to Wright. Wright plays against Batt. He missed an absolute sitter here, I remember, last season, and that's 3-0 Town win. And Town get a throw again. McLaughlin playing almost as a left winger in this second half now. McLaughlin again takes it down, has a go at Johnson, but he's caught in possession this time, the Northern Ireland international. Johnson drives over halfway, central position, Holmes screaming for the ball, and he gets it. Danger man, this boy. Holmes cutting inside, having a go at Regan, he's in the air. Holmes tries to bend it to the far corner, but it's just wide. Clever effort as he looks to complete a memorable hat-trick.
Yeah, every time he gets the ball, doesn't he, Lee Holmes? Saw him as a young player coming up for Derby County. I think probably a little bit too much for him in their Premiership years, but He's gone to Southampton, done very well, and loaned out here, Stuart. And he looks a really, really good player still.
Does look a talent. On loan to Oxford. I'm sure they'd love to keep him on this evidence. First time he scored for Oxford tonight. But he really has looked a class apart at times. 2 really well taken goals, which give Oxford this slender advantage. Here he is again, Holmes, riding a tackle from Sharp. He's 20 yards out, running at pace, and Regan opening up for him. Holmes goes to goal. Neil makes the save. Holmes going to spill it. Holmes again, all his own work. Rob Sharp's twinkle toes run. Shot came in, and Neil grabbed hold of it at the second time of asking.
Yeah, it just shows you, doesn't it, Stuart, what pace does to a side when you've got it in your side. It's exemplary the way that Holmes is taking this game to Shrewsbury, but we've just got to keep our momentum going.
FA Cup 5th round latest to St Andrews, Birmingham 0, Chelsea 2. Raul Morales, the Portuguese player, with the second for Chelsea. Morgan looks to win town a corner, surely he has. No, says the linesman. Couldn't quite see what it was about. It's a fairly clear-cut decision for the assistant to make, but he decides that should be a goal kick to Oxford, much to Morgan's obvious annoyance.
Yeah, it seemed a strange decision, that, Stuart. I thought the Oxford player had knocked it out, but the linesman is a lot closer than us and didn't get much change from Marvin Morgan.
John Taylor on the ball for Shrewsbury on the right-hand side, uses Regan. Regan sends it forward, helped back towards his own keeper by Hall, and this time it does run through to the goalkeeper, Ryan Clark. Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2 here on BBC Radio Shropshire with myself, Stuart Dunn, and the town hall boy Steve Cross alongside me. I'll ask Steve in a minute, bit of a strange question, you might think, but do you remember where you were 30 years ago today, Steve?
Not a clue, Stuart.
I can tell you. You were at Filbert Street, played for Shrewsbury in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Leicester 5, Shrewsbury 2.
Yeah, rather remember that game, Stuart. It was a fantastic occasion to be there, but very disappointing. Oh dear!
Oh, that's a really bad challenge from Holmes on Taylor. Crunching challenge from Holmes, and Taylor's livid. Holmes giving Taylor a mouthful as well. And he's got no right to give him a mouthful because he's almost broken Taylor in half there. Graham Turner stepping in actually to calm down a few players and diffuse the situation. But it was a full-blooded, forceful lunge from Holmes on Taylor. And that's, well, if he gets a yellow card, I'll be amazed. Looks as though he might, those two.
Yeah, it's just having a talking to, isn't he? I think they both swung at the ball now. He's getting a booking. Quite rightly, he's took a swing at Johnny Taylor, hasn't he? And fair play to John Taylor, who's just walked away.
Yeah, yellow card for Holmes. Lewis Brabham's equalised for Rotherham against Crewe in League 2. One apiece there at the Don Valley. Rotherham moving into their new stadium at the end of this season. Town still have that belief. They're 2-1 down. Richard with a free kick from halfway up towards Collins, takes it down on the chest. Well cleared by Hall for Oxford. Here's a fresh leg to the substitute, Carucci. Carucci hurdles a challenge from McLaughlin. Still got it. Johnson now. There's pace in this Oxford side. Johnson running at Sharps, and Sharps does terrifically well. There's experience for you. Might not be as quick as Johnson, but he's got plenty of know-how up top. And Sharps wins it for the Town and looks to set up another Town attack. Midway point of the second half. Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2. Carl Regan has had a steady game again. Uses Taylor. Taylor goes back into his own half to Regan. Regan square to Sharps, and Sharps sprays it out to the left-hand side this time. McLaughlin invited to come forward again. Lots of space in which to manoeuvre. Nice 1-2 with Wright. McLaughlin turns and uses McAllister. 30 yards out. Good shot from McAllister, just wide. Decent hit, good football again from Shrewsbury Town.
Yeah, great passing movement, and that's what Town are best at, Stuart. You know that they've got to keep the momentum going. They've got to keep getting plenty of efforts at this Oxford goal. And for me, Oxford are looking dead on their feet at the moment. Absolutely dead on their feet. The substitutes give them a little bit of extra legs coming on up front. But they're waiting, expecting to concede again.
Well, we said, didn't we, ahead of the game, we just wondered how it would take its toll on Oxford. Beating Swindon with 10 men. Remember, they had a man sent off in the 10th minute on Saturday, and they still managed to beat the leaders. Superhuman effort that, but they're cutting forward here with Carucci. A great play from Granderson on the edge of his 18-yard box. Then he's fouled by Carucci. Petulant little tug from the Oxford United substitute. And Shrewsbury will get a free kick midway inside their own half. On the right-hand side, Carucci is French-born of Algerian descent. He's been around the block a bit. Played in a number of countries, now he's on loan at Oxford. He's given away a free kick. Town on the attack. Right, the Town goal scorer on the left-hand side. tries to win down a corner, shanks it behind though, and that'll be a goal kick. Looks as though it's going to be back to business for the leaders Swindon, beaten at Oxford on Saturday, but they're 2-0 up on Barnet tonight. Joe Devereux with the goal there. Town looked as though they were about to make another change here. Nicky Rowe getting stripped and ready for action at the midway point of the second half.
Yeah, interesting substitution. Obviously going to be for one of the midfield players. No, he's gone. Well, to be fair to Graham, well done, Graham Turner. He's going to put an extra midfield player on. I think Matt Richards will possibly go to left back.
It's Cole Regan who's gone up.
Yeah, Conor McLaughlin will come to right back. So a little bit of a switch in team formation from Graham, but definitely something that just bring a pair of extra legs on, I think, and hope that Rowe can do what he does when he usually comes on a substitute.
And we're both big fans of Nicky Rowe, aren't we? The drive he brings to this Shrewsbury team, and that's what they need now as they chase the game. Marvin Morgan on the ball, 30 yards out. Morgan has to check his run here, working hard to win it back, and gets Shrewsbury a free kick actually. This referee, Mr. Rushton, has made some very curious decisions. There's another one. I don't think Jake Wright did too much wrong there, the Oxford captain, but the decision goes Shrewsbury's way. And it's a decent position this, 35 yards out, central position. Matt Richards has spotted up the ball. Romain Sawyer's on loan from Albion, warming up now for Shrewsbury Town in front of the family stand. Can Town turn this one around? They were 2-0 down at half time, but they're making a real game of it. Richards standing over this one. Oxford have built a three-man defensive wall. Ian Sharp's trying to make a nuisance of himself. It's a fair way out. It will take something special from Richards to beat Clark from here. What can he do? And Richards goes for goal, and it should go over the bar. Oh, mighty close to 2-2. Ball ends up on top of the net as opposed to in the back of it. Decent free kick from Richards. Goal kick to Oxford then.
Oh, it's very, very close, Stuart. Lovely free kick from Richards. I thought the keeper had lost his footing at one stage and it was going to just drop into the top of the net, but just dropped on top of the net. Got the fans a little bit excited, but again Oxford United escape without anything going through the goal.
2-1 to Oxford. Into the last 20 minutes on BBC Radio Shropshire. Stay where you are. This could be something very special. The Town can turn this one around. I think it's fair to say they take a point at the moment. And found themselves 2-0 down at the halfway stage. Rowe to Richards. No stranger to playing left back. Actually played for England under 21s in that position in his Ipswich Town days. Here's Granderson. Square ball to Sharps. Sharps now to McLaughlin playing right back, showing his versatility, the on-loan Preston North End player. And Sharps plays a poor ball. Didn't get any elevation. Oxford bring it forward towards Carucci. And Granderson wins the race and sends it back to the goalkeeper, and Neil doesn't hang about, just unleashes it quickly downfield. Swindon 3-0 up on Dagenham. Luke Rooney with a third goal for Swindon, looking to live up to Paolo Di Canio's claims that they almost are the champions in waiting, the champions elect in his opinion of League Two. They will take some stopping, it would seem. They could go well clear of Shrewsbury Town, that's for sure. The way results stand, with Swindon winning and Shrewsbury losing as it stands. 19 minutes to go. Ball is back with Chris Neal. He rolls it out as far as he can quickly to Taylor. Taylor goes back into his own half to McLaughlin. McLaughlin is going to give Nicky Rowe his first touch of the ball, the sub in the centre circle, and the Yorkshireman pings it out to the left-hand side to Richards, takes it down, clever ball forward to Collins. Collins gets there ahead of Dewberry. Clear foul from Dewberry. Totting up on there the fouls by the ex-Chelsea star. And it'll be a free kick to Shrewsbury again, this time 45 yards out left-hand side. Yeah,
it's good play from Matt Richards. A lovely weighted ball in. And Dewberry had to foul him because he's gone past him like he's not there.
Juan Matters missed a penalty for Chelsea. They still lead 2-0 though in their FA Cup replay at Birmingham. Northampton 3 and Bristol Rovers 1 in League 2. Craig Stanley once of Telford putting one back for Rovers. And Dewberry's going to be booked here for Oxford. Yellow card count. Totting up. Free kick Shrewsbury then. Mark Wright's going to take it. Granderson, Sharps, Collins, Morgan. All obvious targets here for the Town marksman tonight. Wright to try and pick out. They're 2-1 down with 18 minutes to go. Wright delivers right-footed, close to the keeper, too close to the keeper. It's an easy take this time for Ryan Clark unopposed.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad free kick from Mark Wright this time. I think somebody's got to be standing at least near the keeper so he doesn't come and collect it, quite easily. And it was an easy catch for the Oxford United keeper then.
Clark this time takes a leap out of Neil's book by throwing it out to the full-back, and Bat clips it forward, overhit, and it's easily gathered by Neil again. Town management team in deep conversation. John Truick, right-hand man to Graham Turner, actually played for Oxford on their most famous day when they won the Mill Cup, the League Cup, under one of its former guises at Wembley back in '86. Played for them in the top division, John Truick, when Oxford were flying high at the Old Manor ground. Right now for the Town. On the left-hand side, he's got Richards on the overlap, and Wright spins and turns and delivers towards Morgan, cleared only towards McAllister, and McAllister shoots over the top. Would have come down for him.
No, he wouldn't, Stuart. Yeah, it was a good header by one of the Oxford United defenders, and came at waist height to McAllister. Just got a little touch on it, tried to get his body over it with the volley, but just couldn't get enough on it and over the bar. But at least we're getting crosses in the box and making efforts at this Oxford goal.
And Romain Sawyer's about to come on for Shrewsbury as well. Still largely an unknown figure to Shrewsbury Town supporters. We've seen glimpses of what he can do. Had a very good cameo off the bench against Bristol Rovers here a few weeks ago. He's going to come on for the last 15-16 minutes here. Oxford on the attack at the moment with Johnson, and runs into Richards does well, and that'll be an Oxford United throw. Just wonder with Richards playing left back now, how much of a miss that is for Town in the middle of the park.
Yeah, it's a good play, but as I say, Nicky Rose come on, and I think he does a similar job to Matt Richards. Romain Sawyer's coming on here replacing John Taylor like he did on Saturday, and I thought when he came on he did lots to show that he's a player, Stuart. I thought he's a good player, lovely touch on the ball, and a very intelligent footballer.
And a big chance then for Sawyers, on loan for the rest of the season now from West Brom. Joined on a month initially, did well enough for Graham Turner to decide to contact Roy Hodgson and ask to keep him for the rest of the season, and Roy Hodgson was happy to comply. Town throw in the left back position. Richards gets it back from Rowe. Town 1, Oxford 2, 15 minutes to go. Sawyers gets his first touch in the centre circle, but he's beaten in the air this time by Tonkin. Strong run for Holmes, a 2-goal start for Oxford tonight. And runs this into McLaughlin this time. And Town will get a throw. McLaughlin takes it quickly and back into his own penalty area. Sharp, square to Grandison in those white boots. Grandison to Richards. White boots seem to be the most popular colour in this Shrewsbury Town squad, actually. Richards slides it forward to Morgan, little touch to Collins, and Collins loses out to Dewberry this time. The veteran had a good game, great block tackle from Nicky Rowe. Little ball forward's a good one as well towards Morgan. Carucci stayed down injured from that challenge from Nicky Rowe, which was hard but fair. Town keep the ball with Sawyers on the right hand side. Tonkin puts it into touch, and Oxford will they're not happy because they feel Town should have put the ball out there, but why? Rowe had won it hard but fair.
You watch Stuart, he'll get up in a minute. I bet the trainer doesn't even come on. Thank you. Yeah.
Chris Wilder looked disgusted, didn't he, that Town hadn't put the ball out to give Oxford the chance to give the player some free moves. On we go, Town free kick, 40 yards out, right hand side. Richard spotting this one up, takes it left-footed, flicked on by Sawyers at the near post into the penalty area. Collins keeps it alive. Oxford should clear here with Asa Hall and the former Shrewsbury own man. Hammers long downfield. Ball goes over the head of McLaughlin, but Neil comes a long way out, almost playing as a sweeper, the keeper, and bangs it upfield long. Little flick by Grandison, but Oxford again deal with it. Here's Rowe for Shrewsbury Town. Finds Wright. Wright goes back to Rowe on halfway. Rowe sweeps it cross field towards Sawyers. Sawyers moves the ball in field. 14 to go plus stoppages. Still time for Town to at least pick up a point from this one. They're 2-1 down. Rowe crossfield switch to Wright. Now some space for Sawyers on the left hand side. Delivers, headed away by Wright for Oxford. Kept in by Bat, but he gives it away. Town just trying to get up a late sustained head of steam here as they chase an equaliser. Morgan back to goal. Down to Collins, ball comes down, good awareness from Collins, to Wright, Wright cuts inside, Wright delivers, blocked by Dewberry, and Oxford could bring it away this time. Carucci to Johnson, no out ball for Oxford. They pulled everyone back behind the ball. They're flagging the yellows. Oh, but what a pity. McAllister takes his eye off the ball. Ball rolls under his feet, and now Oxford can clear. As they hammer long downfield towards Rendell. Can mop it up tidily again. It could be all one-way traffic, you sense, in the closing stages here. As Town chase again. McAllister to Sawyers. Poor ball though from Sawyers. All a bit too intricate from the St Kitts and Nevis under 23 international. Sharps wins it for the Town. McAllister and McLaughlin keep it in. And now Sawyers on the ball. Languid, elegant player, Sawyers. And he dribbles forward here. Foul by Carucci. Wild, and the Oxford manager can't believe it. But it'll be a Town free kick again. 45 yards out, right-hand side. And again, Richards will take it. And he's going to tell the captain, Sharps, to charge into the box and make a nuisance of himself.
Well, they're inviting pressure on the Oxford, Stuart, no outball.
And a clever, quickly taken free kick from Richards to Sawyers on the right-hand side. Sawyers square, Sharps lets him run. Rowe shoots over the top! Oh, clever effort! Great free kick, lovely football. And Nicky Rowe inches away from levelling it up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, it was a lovely step over as well, wasn't it, from Sharps? Great awareness. Nicky Rowe was just in behind him. Sawyers, could have easily just crossed that ball into the box, but a lovely roll back to Rowe, and just I thought the keeper got a touch on it, Stuart, tipped it over the bar, which was Nicky Rowe was saying to the referee, but he was having none of it as usual.
Oxford about to make another change to get some fresh legs out there. Liam Davis, ex-Northampton man, coming on. Let's have a look who's going off. They're taking an awful long time, but eventually Ollie Johnson, the ex-Norwich City man, will make way. Had a decent game, Johnson. Made the second goal though for Oxford.
Yeah, he's a good player, Stuart. It's a terrific pace up and down that right-hand side, and he scores a problem for Town. And I just think he got himself a little bit overheated on that right-hand side a couple of times, and going past players, falling over. And Chris Wilder just ushering off.
Gillingham 2, Barnet 1. Jordan Abita, the goal scorer there. And Town making a change as well. Their third and final change. Morgan being replaced by Gornell.
Yeah, I think he's just got a slight injury. Graham Turner's just asking what was wrong. He's limping off at the moment and going off with one of the physios there. So let's hope it's not too bad for Marvin Morgan. Had a good game today. Let's hope Terry Gornell can come on and get a goal.
Yep, been a bit quiet, hasn't he, of late in the goal scoring front. Terry Gornell, 6 goals for the club all season. This would be a terrific time to add to his tally tonight, as Town just try and keep alive this last remaining unbeaten home record in senior English football this season. They're 2-1 down, 10 minutes to go. Playing much better in the second half though. McLaughlin for the Town. Square ball to Rowe in the centre circle. Town still believe clearly the way they're knocking it about. Good ball from Rowe out to the left-hand side to Richards. Richards confronted by Holmes. Richards goes the long way round. Blocked off by 2 players. Richards still digs it out. Great tenacity. Richards plays it into the middle towards Gornell, the sub. Gornell turns Shelby. Great ball in. Cleared. Shot for right, and it's blocked. Pinball machine in the Oxford 18-yard box. They're hanging on for the away team here.
Yeah, by the threads of their nails there, Stuart. Great play from Matt Richards. What a talented player this guy is, isn't he? Midfield, left back. He looks a class above anything on the field at the moment.
Probably playing goal, couldn't he? He's that good. Matt Richards. Macclesfield 2, Hereford 2. Matthew Henshaw with the equaliser. Hampshire, sorry, the equaliser. Well, that's a bad challenge, meantime, on Dave McAllister. Davis, who's just come on as a sub, leaving his calling card all over Dave McAllister there. He'll do well to get up from this, he'll have to. Because Town have used all their 3 changes tonight, haven't they? Rowe and Sawyers and Gornell, they're all coming on. And it will be a Town free kick. Town have got the momentum, you sense, to turn this one around. On the balance, the player that deserves something, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do, Stuart. It's a little bounce, anything to go Town's way in this last 10 minutes.
A free kick to be taken by Richards, stabs it into the middle. They're flicked on by Sharps. They're queuing up. Oxford acrobatically clear with Carucci. Anywhere will do for Oxford. Backs to the wall effort from the away side now as Town come on strong. McAllister in the centre circle. It's had a really good second half. McAllister to Sawyers. Sawyers plays it back in field to Richards. Oxford want to make another change. Here's McAllister. McAllister lifts it into the box. Should be cleared by Dewberry. Could do with another one of his own goals maybe to save Shrewsbury's bacon here. 4-0 Swindon lead Dagenham now, the League 2 leaders. Paul Benson, Town take a throw quickly. Sharps loose from the right hand side, Graveson's in there. Oxford again hanging on, defending for their lives. Just about effective. Asa Hall with the ball forward, there's no one there in a yellow shirt. They're out on their feet, Oxford. If Town could equalise, they could even go on and win it. But it's getting the equaliser which is proving to be the hardest part so far. 8 to go on BBC Shropshire. Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2. Rowe for Shrewsbury Town. He's done well since coming on as a sub. Rowe feeds it into the box, misses Collins, and it goes all the way through to Clark, the keeper.
Yeah, good idea from Mickey Rowe, just whipping the ball into James Collins, just trying to get a little touch off the top of his head and taking it wide of the keeper. But as minutes run out, I just hope we don't get frustrated and just start banging the ball anywhere. We've still got to try and pray a little bit and keep the ball on the floor and get decent moves in.
McLaughlin now playing right back, started the night at left back, allowed to run a long way with the ball, but then he telegraphs it. Cut out by wing for Oxford, sharp turn by Carucci in the centre circle, then Carucci goes down very easily. Nicky Rowe with a great tackle, then he goes in on Hall as well, and again Nicky Rowe. That's what Town needs, really putting his foot in. He's desperate to get back in the starting 11, Nicky Rowe. Good crossfield switch from Sawyers to the feet of Mark Wright. Lots of blue and amber shirts in the middle. Here's Richards now. Richards drives it in. Gornell on the turn. McAllister wants it. McAllister gets it. Takes a touch. Plays it out to the right hand side. McLaughlin fouled. Keeps his feet. McLaughlin shoots wide. Goal kick.
Yeah, wrong person to have it in the box, wasn't it? You're right back. I thought Romain Sawyers could have just took the ball off McLaughlin then and turned himself. But yeah, it's getting closer and closer, Stuart. But I'm afraid time is running out for us at the moment.
Who's your Town man of the match tonight, Steve?
For me, the way that he's approached the second half, McAllister for me is an absolute stormer. Second half, drove the team forward, and it's him that's kept Town going.
Dave McAllister then gets the nod of Steve Cross, who knows a thing or two about midfield play. This is Town man of the match. Who's yours? Give James Bond a call. 01743 248 321. Mini verdict tonight. Send the text 81333 81333. Begin your message with the word drop, and Nathan Johnston back in the studio will get through as many of those before we go off air tonight after hearing from the manager Graham Turner. Will it be a disappointed Graham Turner? Shaping up to be that way as we move into the final 5 minutes, but don't give up just yet, Town fans. Town are playing well enough to suggest they can pull something out of the bag here, despite it being Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2. Tonkin, the left back, plays it down the line. Davis cuts in field. Davis still to Carucci. Rendell lifts it into the box, well snuffed out by Granderson. Now McAllister turns midway inside his own half. Wright screaming for the ball on the left hand side. McAllister on the charge. Gives it to Sawyers this time. Sawyers still for Shrewsbury Town. To Rowe now in the centre circle. Options right and left. He goes to the left into the feet of Richards. Richards slows it down this time. Rowe makes an angle for the pass and now gets it. Nicky Rowe, ball forward to Sawyers. Sawyers turns, it's all in front of him. Sawyers to the feet of Gornell. Ball could break to Richards, it does at the penalty area. Left hand side. Richards goes down. Has he got a corner? No, he hasn't. It'll be a goal kick. And another move. Peters out with no end product to last. Goal kick, Oxford.
Yeah, it was a shame there. Matt Richards, he went to just try and cross the ball, and I think it took a horrible bobble. He tried to steady himself and get another cross in, but just overreaching and knocked it out for a goal kick to Oxford.
Goal kick to Oxford. Ryan Clark understandably in no hurry to take it. This would be a massive win in Oxford season, wouldn't it, if they were to achieve where so many other teams before them have failed by collecting 3 points here at the Greenhouse Meadow, which has become a fortress. Just over a year since Town last tasted defeat here. Sharps for Shrewsbury Town. They're not giving it up by any stretch to Town. Sawyers, ball into the box towards Collins. Collins turns. Collins again, blocked off this time by Asa Hall. He's worked hard tonight, the former Shrewsbury Town loan man, ex-Birmingham City youngster. Town throw. McLaughlin with it to Sawyers. Lovely turn from Sawyers. Then he goes back on himself. Sawyers uses McLaughlin. Bit of space to size up the possibility. McLaughlin crosses. They're headed away again by Oxford. Defending for their lives and defending effectively, you have to say. Richards now for Shrewsbury. 30 yards out. Ball forward to Collins. Just no way through for Shrewsbury at the moment. Just that glorious volley from Mark Wright. Their only success so far. Rowe forward this time to Gornell, who's looked sharp since coming on. Rowe again to Sawyers. There's 3 subs combining here. Sawyers to Gornell. Back to Sawyers. Ball into the box to Sharp. Sharp's on the turn. To Wright, and Wright hammers over the top. Great football to manufacture the chance. I think it took a bit of a bobble, in front of Wright. And over the top it goes, goal kick.
Yeah, it's probably the best move of the game, isn't it, Stuart? Lovely passing move to get Mark Wright in. I thought he could have had a little touch, just in front of him and whipped one into that top corner, what we've seen him do so many times. As you say, I think it took a nasty bobble just before he struck it, and it looks awful, doesn't it, when it goes into the crowd.
Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2. Oxford led 2-0 at half-time, homes for both. The Southampton loanee. Mark Wright volleyed a glorious goal to give Town hope fairly early in the second half, and it's been all Shrewsbury since then. But so far an equaliser, proving to be elusive. 2-1 Oxford, 2 minutes to go. Sands of time not on Shrewsbury's side here. And as it stands, Torquay United will go above them. And Shrewsbury will be down to 5th in League 2 this evening. Sharps for the time to McLaughlin. McLaughlin couldn't keep it in. Sharps looks suitably frustrated. And Oxford will have a throw in the left-back position. Oxford determined to see this one out. Have to give them some credit, Steve, the way they've come here tonight and have held on despite being under the cosh.
Yeah, I thought they were super in the first half, Stuart. The way that Chris Wilder set his team up, this 4-1 formation, it made it really frustrating for Town, and they just couldn't break it down.
Gillingham 3-1 up now on Barnet in League 2. Charlie Lee for the informed Gills. As Town knock it into the Oxford box again. Clark, the keeper, takes command, and now McLaughlin heads it back in the right direction for Shrewsbury Town. Is there one more chance to come Shrewsbury's way here? Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2. And McLaughlin looking to make something happen. Running at Davis, nowhere to go for McLaughlin. And Oxford will have a throw, and the captain Sharp just tapping his wrist as if to say, come on referee, Oxford are just time wasting at every opportunity. As you'd expect for any away team though, who are 2-1 up away from home and with not too much time to go. Tompkins throw down the line. Well cleared by Shrewsbury again. But Oxford will have another go. Tonkin taking an age to take this throw. Looking for someone in a yellow shirt to give it to. Unable to find one. Sharp steps in for the Town. Grandison for Shrewsbury. That's a bit of a loose header. Holmes for Oxford. Bit of space now for Holmes. He's heading towards the corner flag. He's got Richards in hot pursuit, and Holmes has got away from him initially. Holmes still, like all good players, heading towards the corner flag. Still he's got it, and well played Holmes. But plays it off Richards, and he buys Oxford United a throw on the right-hand side in an attacking position. But look at this, 5 minutes of added on time.
Yeah,
still hope.
I wouldn't be surprised, Stuart, because Oxford have they've been taking the time over goal kicks, free kicks. They've been falling over and trying to waste time. And I think the referee's got his own back.
Northampton hanging on against Bristol Rovers now in League 2 all of a sudden. 3-2 to Northampton. Lee Brown penalty for Rovers. Oxford trying to keep the ball in the far corner, and they're not good enough to do so this time. Town throw taken by Richards. Down the line. Doesn't quite find Sawyers. Oxford keeping the ball at the right end of the park as far as they're concerned. Here's Holmes, a 2-goal hero, shoved in the back needlessly by Sawyers. A bit petulant from the youngster. And Oxford have this free kick, and Chris Wilder is looking at his stopwatch. Every 5 seconds he would seem at the moment. He's so desperate to hear the full-time whistle. Still 4 minutes of added on time to be played here. Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2 on BBC Shropshire. Oxford just trying to kill the game in that far corner of the ground. On the right-hand side, it's frustrating for Shrewsbury. He just cannot win it back at the moment. Need to get it forward as quickly as possible, but it's proving easier said than done. Again, Oxford have a throw. Some 10 yards from the corner flag on the right-hand side. It's taken towards the substitute, Carucci. And again, he plays it off Mark Wright. Very frustrating, Steve, for Shrewsbury this.
Yeah, but we'd do exactly the same if we were 2-1 up, Stuart, and away from home. It's killing tactics, and it's exactly what teams do.
In time, do get the free kick now, belatedly, which Richards dispatches quickly upfield towards Collins. Collins looks for Gornell, flags up for offside against Terry Gornell. Bradford 1, Accrington 1 in League 2. Will Hatfield with a late equaliser for Accrington. What Town would give for a late equaliser here at the Greenhouse Meadow. Shrewsbury 1, Oxford 2, Port Vale 2, Burton 0. Louis Dodds for the Vale, putting their off-field problems firmly behind them on the field. Oxford free kick midway inside their own half. The old warhorse, Dewberry takes it out to this near side, and McLaughlin wins a good header. Sawyers turns. Sawyers for Shrewsbury Town. What can he produce? Sawyers drills it forward. It's blocked off. Sawyers again though. Loses out to Davis, who plays it against Sawyers. Oxford's throw just shy of halfway. Town just can't get the ball at the moment.
No, it's everything it's ricocheting out of play, isn't it? It's the Oxford United players are, keeping the ball in the corner, and it's very frustrating for Town. Just want to get the ball and get in the box.
So Arsenal are out of the Champions League despite a fantastic effort against AC Milan. 3-0 they win on the night. They were 3 up at half time, but it's the Italians who go through 4-3 on aggregate. Van Persie squandered a really good chance to make it 4-0 on the night. Unusual for him, isn't it? Such a sharp striker. Morecambe had beaten Cheltenham 3-1. Cheltenham, they would be delighted to know that Shrewsbury are at least losing. Time almost up, deep in the stoppage time. Town 2-1 down. McLaughlin, ball forward to Gornell. Is there time for one last chance? Gornell back to Sawyers on the right hand side. He's got to whip it in as fast as he can here, Sawyers. He's heading towards the corner flag here, Sawyers. Looking for some space. Then he plays it off Davis. Will it go for a corner? No, it won't. Oxford clear. Town throw. They've just got to take this throw as quickly as possible. Sharps with it to Rowe. Deep into stoppage time. Now or never for Shrewsbury Town. We're at the point of no return almost. Richards for Shrewsbury. Shoots from a long way out. He's goal! Matt Richards from 35 yards. Deep into stoppage time, and he rescues Shrewsbury's proud unbeaten record. It's scarcely believable. They do just not know the meaning of defeat here. Matt Richards from miles out. Shrewsbury 2, Oxford 2. Can you believe it?
What an absolute stunner. I thought Mark Wright's goal was an absolute classic, Stuart, but believe me, that is even better. What an absolutely superb goal. You know what? I think the goalkeeper thought he was going wide, Stuart. He's got it at the top right hand corner. What an absolutely fantastic strike. Brilliant.
Unbelievable. Matt Richards, deep into stoppage time from 35 yards. Almost as though time stood still. Time might even win it yet. Mark Wright on the move. Right to Rowe. Rowe forward to Gornell to Wright. Is there still time for Town to win it? Wright gets his head up and finds McLaughlin. Oxford hanging on, they're on the ropes. McLaughlin crosses. Should be the goalkeepers, and Clark makes the catch right underneath his crossbar. How's that for late drama?
Oh, can you believe it, Stuart? I'm glad we've kept this record. I hope we're going to keep this record. Still a few minutes to go in this game, but what an absolutely fantastic strike. Still catching my breath from it, Stuart. Absolutely superb.
Incredible strike. Matt Richards from a long way out. Got to be 35 yards. 2-2 at the Greenhouse Meadow, and it's all over. It's a draw, but it almost feels like a victory when you're 2-0 down at half time against a decent Oxford side as well.